Hello and welcome to the Discover Dayton podcast, the show that's all about Dayton's past, present, and future. I'm your host, Arch Grieve, and today's episode is the fourth weekly news roundup covering the fourth week of March 2022 and was recorded on Saturday, March 26th. For these episodes, I compile and share local news stories about Dayton so you don't have to. This week's news headlines include an update on Good Sam's closing, Ohio primary election updates, a new home for Hart Mercantile, and more, so please stick around. We'll start off with some good news this week as the City of Dayton is qualified to receive funds from the federal government through the American Plan Rescue Act to help individuals who are homeless or could become homeless. Dayton is hoping to get more than $5 million in funding from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which says that the funding can be used in a variety of ways, including affordable housing, rental assistance, supportive services, and more. The controversial closing of the Good Samaritan Hospital by Premier Health in 2018 resulted in local clergy members filing a civil rights complaint with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office for Civil Rights. That office recently announced the results of their investigation, which concluded that no civil rights violation occurred. The complaint, which was filed by the Community Clergy Coalition, argued that the closing of the hospital, which was the most convenient hospital for 38,000 plus individuals, 75% of whom are black, was a civil rights violation. Premier Health plans to build a much smaller medical center on the site of the former hospital with physicians' offices, urgent care, and more. The Community Clergy Coalition says it's not finished pursuing legal action and is exploring additional action it can take to continue to fight for healthcare equity. A recent report released by the Dayton Human Relations Council in partnership with two nonprofits says that the Montgomery County immigrant population increased by over 21% from 2014 to 2019, while simultaneously the county population decreased by 0.5%. Without the immigrant population increasing during those years, the county would have had a decline of 1.3%. The report also found that immigrants have a significant amount of purchasing power, with $562 million in 2019 alone. They also contributed $75 million in state and local taxes. To learn more about the report, visit DaytonOhio.gov/ImmigrantImpact2019. The Dayton NAACP will host a town hall on the adverse effect of gun violence on families this Monday at Montgomery County Employment Opportunity Center at 6:45 p.m. The town hall will include guests who have been impacted by gun violence here in Dayton and the surrounding areas. Visit naacpdayton.org for more information on how to attend. Hart Mercantile is moving to a new location soon, although will remain in the Oregon District. Co-owner Kate Gilcher explained the reason behind the move was that they were running out of space in their current location and need room to expand, both physically and virtually. At 1,200 square feet, the new location is double the size of the old location. The shop is also seeking out new local vendors, so email heartdayton@gmail.com if you're interested in partnering with them. A new Marriott hotel should be opening up this year on the site of the former Mendelssohn's property next to the Dayton Dragons Stadium. The hotel will have 134 rooms and will have a rooftop bar with views of downtown Dayton. If you're interested in becoming a lifeguard and are 15 or older, the City of Dayton wants you. They're currently hosting classes, with one starting this Monday, the 28th, and another starting April 11th. The cost is $200 unless you're going to work for the city's recreation department, in which case the course is free. Email zachary.horston@daytonohio.gov if you're interested in registering. U.S. 6th District Court of Appeals mediators are going to help the Ohio Redistricting Commission redraw legislative maps after the Ohio Supreme Court struck down the maps for a third time recently. Not in time, however, for the May 3rd primary to include General Assembly candidates. Secretary of State Frank LaRose sent an order to Ohio counties this week to take all General Assembly races off the ballots, meaning that only candidates for statewide office, congressional, and local races will be on the ballots alongside local ballot issues. The Commission is also showing a bit more transparency with this round of map drawing by streaming the negotiations live for the first time on the Ohio Channel. Individuals looking for help getting their records sealed or licenses reinstated are in luck, as the Dayton Metro Library will be hosting a number of free clinics this year in partnership with a number of local law groups and organizations. To find the calendar of events and sign up for a session, visit DaytonMetroLibrary.org/programs. Montgomery County will be ending its emergency rental assistance program next week on March 31st, which is the deadline to apply for rental assistance. The program has handed out almost $23 million in rental assistance since it began last April. To get more information, call the United Way at 937-225-3000. Montgomery County is in need of poll workers for the upcoming primary elections, as more than 60,000 people will have a new polling location in the upcoming elections. There are 145 polling locations in the county, and the Board of Elections needs 1,600 plus people to run them. You can find out how to become a poll worker at the Board of Elections website at montgomery.boe.ohio.gov. And in similar news, early voting for the May 3rd primary begins April 5th, so request your ballot now if you plan to vote absentee. And in things you probably didn't know were illegal news, the Ohio State House is considering a bill that would end the prohibition against serving alcohol in one's own home when hosting a fundraiser. Currently, under Ohio law, it is illegal to provide alcohol to guests thanks to the Keeper of a Place law that goes back to 1908. House Bill 574 would allow people to serve alcohol at events in their home at any non-for-profit event that they host with up to 100 people in attendance. The bipartisan bill is expected to pass the House, according to one of its co-sponsors, Republican House Majority Floor Leader Bill Seitz. And finally, in good pandemic news, Dayton Public Schools is ending its mask mandate next week for students and teachers. Superintendent Lawley said that if any COVID-19 outbreaks occur, the district will reserve the right to utilize masking again. Moving on to things to do, the Dayton Theater Guild is showing The Price, an Arthur Miller play, now through April 8th. Tickets are available at DaytonTheaterGuild.org. The Roads Below are playing this Thursday, March 31st, at the Brightside Music and Event venue, with local artist Jamie Settle opening for them. They are a country duo based out of Nashville. Tickets are available at thebrightsidedayton.com. The Dayton Brunch Food Truck Rally is taking place at the Yellow Cab Tavern tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. There will be food trucks, live music, mimosas, and a Bloody Mary bar. If you're a fan of tea, not the gossip kind, but the sipping kind, tomorrow, Sunday, March 27th, at the 2nd Street Market is an event called Spill the Tea, being hosted by new vendors, the Wenches of Wormwood. They'll be doing a talk about the benefits of herbal tea starting at 12 and lasting for a half hour. Samples will be provided as well. The Spaghetti Warehouse is hosting dinner theaters again, where you, the guest, get to try to solve the crime. The events take place every Monday from March 28th through April 25th. The dinner and show together are $39.95. Call the Spaghetti Warehouse at 937-461-3913 for reservations. And finally, the Dayton Liederkranz Turner German American Club is hosting its beer garden events again, which will take place on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of the month, including later today starting at 5 p.m. and going to 10 p.m. The event features German food, beer, and a trivia contest starting at 6:30 p.m. Well, that's it for this week's News Roundup. But if you have a story or event you'd like me to include in a future News Roundup, or even an entire episode, visit DiscoverDaytonPodcast.com and fill out the request form on our website, or email us directly at DiscoverDaytonPodcast@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. You can also follow us on social media and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and stay funky, Dayton.